Days at the zoo or aquarium are quite relaxing. Sit back and enjoy the view as all the animals roam around their area. Everything is all swell until something like this happens. Zoos and aquariums usually pick the best of the best quality glass when it comes to strength. But sometimes the strength of the glass is just no match for the might of some of these animals. Here are times that the glass just wasn't strong enough. Deer breakthrough. One day, a deer decided to do a little shopping down at the mall in Oklahoma. How this deer was able to make it this far into the mall, nobody was quite sure how. But eventually, once it found itself pretty deep into one of the mall's stores, he got tired of shopping and wanted out. This video shows how a deer rushes and smashes through a mall window with ease. While he created quite the scene and continued to do so while jumping through another window in the mall to leave, he was able to escape the mall without being located by emergency services. The police reported that they were unable to find the deer after searching the area after the incident. This may be a trend because this actually happened a second time at a salon in Long Island. The hairdressers are just minding their own business and doing their job when out of nowhere a buck charges through the window. When it entered, it hopped right over the shoulder of another lady, and when it exited, it figured it would just take the front door this time. Gorilla glass attack. Gorillas have quite the dangerous reputation and are not to be taken lightly. Some weigh up to 500 pounds, so you really don't want to tick these guys off. One day, a little girl and her family visited the Henry Doorly Zoo in Omaha, Nebraska, and when they arrived, they visited the gorillas at their area. Mimicking what she had probably seen on television, she started beating her chest at the gorilla. Once her brother saw what she was doing, he said, "No, stop, you'll make him mad." And lo and behold, that ended up happening. Kijoto, the gorilla being held at the Henry Dooley Zoo, became fed up and rushed into the glass, leaving a big crack. Luckily, it wasn't completely shattered, and the gorilla wasn't able to actually reach the young girl or her family. Polar bear rock smash. Back at the Rotterdam Zoo, two tourists were downstairs in front of an enclosure full of water. Minding their own business, having a conversation with one another, and enjoying the view, they were given the scare of their lives. Vix, the polar bear, decided to give them a little surprise by throwing a rock at the glass, which ended up leaving quite the crack. While this startled the men, they were fortunate because while the glass suffered severe damage, it did not shatter. The zoo said that it was unlikely that this was a desperate attempt to escape by Vix, but rather just him expressing playfulness. Once the zoo had seen what Vix had done, he had to be transported to another pen while the glass could be repaired. After they fixed the glass, the zoo informed its visitors that it is a safe place to be, and the issue shouldn't happen again. Monkey sharpens rock to break glass. We feel like sometimes monkeys just don't get the credit they deserve for how intelligent they are. And this one might just have figured out how to escape the zoo. Visitors at the Zhengzhou Zoo in China stated that they saw a monkey sharpening a rock by scraping it against another rock. Then, eventually, with its new tool, it smashed the rock against the glass, creating a massive crack. Once the glass cracked, it jumped away for a second, but as time passed, he went over to see the results of what he had done. During an interview, zoo officials said that this little guy was unlike any other monkey they had held at the zoo. They said he was a real crafty one, and even knew how to use tools to break walnuts, while most of the other monkeys just bit into them. But they were very shocked to see that he attempted to break the glass. And after this incident, they went ahead and confiscated all of his weapons so that he couldn't use any more rocks to break his way out. Child breaks glass at zoo. One day in Oakland, California, a lone child was near the grizzly bear exhibit. While watching the bears, he began to hit a rock repeatedly against the wall until it had cracked. Bystanders saw the child and decided to report it to the zoo, but they couldn't find the child's family. The zoo tried to relieve everyone by telling them that the glass is bulletproof and it's close to impossible that the bear could actually escape. They claimed that the glass is designed to splinter when hit with force, but it should never shatter. While this was enough to cool down some of the visitors, it wasn't enough for the rest, who chose to avoid the exhibit completely. The zoo claimed that the damage done had exceeded costs of $67,000, and they would replace it as soon as they could. The child and family responsible were not identified.